Hello and welcome. It is an honor for us to take part of the PMO Global Awards for 2020 and represent Algeria. We are Sarl Total Comfort, one of the leading companies in HVAC in our country. This presentation was made possible by Abdallah Lalmi, the lead nominator, Marwa Awish and Ziyad Swalmiya. Setting up a project management office is a real company project itself on many levels, if not all. From the strategic to operational, the staff will often be the key to success of this type of project. One of the important things to worry about is to properly manage and lead the change. Inherent to this continuous search for improvement and modernization of the organizational structure. This type of office will bring about changes in structural and organizational modes, skills, collaboration between the different human actors, power and responsibility. For a long time, the Sarl Total Comfort has not stopped thinking about drawing the future orientations and to make of the company an active actor in the building works field. The PMO seems to be the ideal solution. The challenge is not just the implementation of the PMO itself, but rather how to give a PMO a life, a PMO that works, that produces added value. The roles entrusted to the PMO must be well defined and it must fit in with the company's objectives. Keeping the PMO focused on the company's objective and strategies requires good practice on its part in order to increase their effectiveness and provide support to management. Establishing a PMO as a project in itself requires a specific effort until the PMO is established. It will require a project leader who could of course be the nominated manager of the PMO once the project is completed. Therefore, like any other project, the establishment of a PMO project will have a specific life cycle. STC in its process of setting up its PMO has opted for a life cycle composed of three main phases: planning, implementation and management. Each phase is composed in return of a successive set of phases. The planning phase. The objective of this phase can be the good alignment of the project with the activities of the company. The improvement of collaboration, a uniform adherence to a project management process and methodology management. Furthermore, the improvement of knowledge in the field of project management can also be an essential goal of this phase. Needs analysis. The objective is to design, develop, attach and implement a PMO. Needs analysis is the first phase of the implementation of a project. Conditions its success in a way where it defines the real needs for those who will use the final result. Communication and exchange phase, the reasons for the implementation, priorities and STC's project management requirements in order to create the added value. The first order requirements for the implementation of the STC's PMO can be among others to define and make process standards sustainable, to have a data bank, identifying areas for continuous improvement, introducing a new management culture. It is also about changing attitudes, values and structures so that the company can push itself to better adapt to new technologies, new markets and a general pattern of permanent change. Moving to the PMO Charter. The Charter sets out what the project office is expected to accomplish and how its success will be measured. It provides a framework for the governance of the project, the structure of the PMO and the expected results. In this step, the headquarters of STC has defined the organizational structure, the level of authority, the goals and objectives of the PMO, the services to be offered to the company, and the development process. The implementation phase. Establishing a PMO that delivers real value to an organization is something that takes time and is done in stages. In this context, the PMO took the PMI methodology and adapted it to the needs and practices of STC. To do so, several deliverables were produced: standards, templates, measurements, knowledge base, processes and tools. Management of organizational change. Generally, the implementation of a new PMO in an organization represents a major change in the organizational culture. Therefore, there will certainly be resistance from people who will be directly affected by this change, especially project managers who will find themselves obligated to follow a set of predetermined processes and models that can be considered as overhead costs. And this was one of the main challenges in implementing the PMO, in addition to the introduction of tools, systems, and processes. Addressing the issues of organizational change early in the implementation of the PMO increases the likelihood of its success. Typical challenges encountered in the implementation of the PMO. Resistance to the idea of a PMO that leads senior managers, middle-level leaders, and staff to change. Resistance to new processes that have been put in place and which promote the digitalization of the organization. In order to help STC staff at all levels to cope with these changes, the PMO have developed, with the help of a human resources department and other departments, an organizational change plan. This plan is based on three major axes: awareness, training, and motivation. From the beginning, STC's PMO chose the policy of communication with all the stakeholders, seeking to understand their needs and requirements. To this end, a communication plan has been developed that raises staff awareness of the benefits of this change. In addition to this, a whole new cycle of training was organized in their favor to bring them up to speed with the use of new technologies and tools. With all these deliverables, the PMO has succeeded in making a very significant change in all organizational aspects, especially with respect to good project governance. Management phase. Define a maturity model. A maturity model can be defined as a structured set of good practices, an organizational tool to evaluate and improve the activities of companies and to monitor the evolution of their capacities to manage projects successfully. There are several models that help define the actions a company needs to take to evolve and progress. Determining the level of maturity is essential, as it helps to define the roles that the PMO will have to play within the company and to ensure that it is well adapted to its organizational structure. Evaluation and gap analysis. Evaluating the current state where projects, programs, and portfolios are managed by STC put on a great importance. This will help the organization to identify the gaps they have and the desired state they wish to be in. This analysis is crucial for the organization to define the path that needs to be developed to achieve that desired level of project management maturity. During this phase, an assessment was made of STC's maturity, in its current state, and of the maturity level related to project management practices and experience. The desired level of maturity was then proposed following the launch of the PMO and should be achieved by the end of the management phase. Based on the CMMI model, it was found that the STC maturity level is the third level. This is the lowest level on a scale of 5 levels. In addition to this, several evaluation studies have been carried out with tools such as SWOT, 5 Partners Force, so in the end, the management will have a very real idea of the current situation of STC. The leadership is the principal and the top position where the leader makes directions for the company that influences the interior and exterior shape of it and also gives it personality. Briefly, all of that depends on the leader. After working in the company for some time, the project management unit wants to find a solution for making a simplified path toward the management of our project in order to give us better results and to increase the cost effectiveness. So based on that, the solution was to create a PMO unit. This unit has a huge impact on things because it's always adapted to managerial solutions to the behavior of the company's employees by encouraging autonomy, discussions, and applying their ideas for the purpose of developing the company, which gives them the feeling that they are working in their own business. The PMO can be many things for an organization, but they can be everything. It is essential to identify the services and functions that the PMO should address. The PMO at our company level is strategically oriented and based on a supportive approach. Its scope encompasses all projects in the company's portfolio. Depending on governance requirements, all projects can report to the company's PMO. These functions range from the classic project management process found in the Project Management Body of Knowledge Guide to administrative tasks. The key functions of the STC's PMO focused mainly on governance, performance management, planning and schedule management, resource management, quality management, communication management, management of customers and suppliers, and practice management documentation. Governance. The governance function of our PMO plays an important role in providing decision support to various decision makers and stakeholders involved in the company. The documentation of governance decisions and the follow-up of actions to be taken from the future governance sessions provides the necessary administrative support for an effective decision-making. Decision-making is based on the data collected and visualized by two reporting tools, Power BI and Excel. Performance management. The performance management function integrates status reports at the project level. Our PMO unit studies specific performance issues and shares the signs of troubled projects, as well as measuring the KPIs of each department of the company to ensure continuous improvement in order to improve our service and have a better customer satisfaction rate. Planning and schedule management. The schedule management function supports the program by identifying milestones at the project levels and integrates them into an overall plan at the program's level. It also assists the project managers in the elaboration of progress schedule of the initial planning using MS Project in order to optimize the usage of resources for each project and to have both project performance and progress reports. Also, the PMO unit is responsible for prioritizing each project based on several criteria: project size, client, resource requirements, and project profitability. Resources management. Resources allocation and resources capacity is managed according to the priority of the project based on documents provided by different departments. A human resources, logistics, and implementation department to manage the process of data collection and sharing. Quality management. The PMO ensures quality management by providing quality control monitoring, quality assurance, coordination of quality inspection, and process coaching to different departments, as it's the case with the ISO certification. However, this function is presented as a critical function because it requires inspecting deliverables at the project level and, more importantly, providing coaching to a project team, requiring additional support in project management, which is a fairly new discipline for a majority of the company's executives. Communication management. Every project requires a communication plan, although the target audience and frequency may vary at the project level. The PMO has created standard communication plans in the informed but also specific in content, which is identical for each project in order to improve communication at the project sites. Also, as a result of some misunderstandings, the PMO unit decided to make a communication plan to different departments to make access to information much easier. Management of customers and suppliers. The PMO supports supplier management by monitoring the different suppliers, providing services and evaluating them by means of supplier performance sheets. Following up the customer through a satisfaction survey in order to improve the service provided and build customer loyalty by replying to their concerns. Practice management documentation. The PMO chooses project management methodologies adapted for each project. It defines the work referential as our company adopts the Agile spirit, but the work is based on the PMBOK 6 methodology. The PMO is also responsible for templates and work documents based on the ISO certification guidelines, documents required by the working code, and project management standards. The company did struggle a lot on different levels before the PMO was created. The PMO has brought to the company many of the best practices in the project management field, some practices that were introduced to the company and became a part of its identity. It all started with changing the company's standard mindset to an agile mindset and trying to be an agile company and get rid of the hierarchical structure to let the employees feel freer and boost their productivity and creativity. The PMO tried to get the best of the agile practices out there and implement them to the company's daily tasks and make them kind of a ritual, like daily stand-up meetings at the level of the company or the construction sites to clarify everyone's job and tasks assigned for that day, and to know the project progression so everyone can start that day well informed about their job. To reinforce the agile practices, the PMO introduced to the company the best tools and platforms to help it manage the projects in a more efficient way. One of the tools was Kanban boards, which is an agile project management tool designed to help visualize work, limit work in progress, and maximize efficiency. It is the perfect way to manage and keep track of the company's projects. The PMO did also introduce Trello, which is a web-based Kanban-style list-making application. It is a collaborative platform when every company's department and employee can share and see projects progression, deadlines, tasks, constraints, and responsibilities of everyone. It allows them to stay well informed about the projects and company situation. About doing Agile. The PMO has improved the company's working methodology by following the PMBOK 6 standard. So we combine between the waterfall and agile practices and try to bring out the best of both to decrease failure rates, increase project success, and customer satisfaction. The company uses different management methodologies depending on the project's needs. In the project's planning phase, sprints and scrums are done and the project's conception can be remade up to 17 times, and all of that is to increase the customer satisfaction. In addition to that, after every project closure, a series of feedbacks are archived as lessons learned in a register that contains all the project phases and the best practices in each project, as well as the constraints and problems for upcoming projects, to avoid same mistakes and to know how to face similar constraints and problems. Monthly meetings are organized gathering all site managers with leaders of the company and PMO members to talk about projects constraints and problems and share everyone's experience to help each other for upcoming projects. Each time, a project manager takes the lead in organizing the meeting to make them feel the responsibility and to improve the employer-employee relationship. To keep track of its improvement, the company keeps developing key performance indicators for each department, which are extracted from the company's objectives, strategies, and the ISO referential. An annual review is held every year, in the presence of all the employees and some customers sharing how the company's year has been. This event is made for so many reasons, starting with gathering all the employees in the sake of evolving their relationship with each other and with the company itself. A summary presentation is directed by the company's director, showing the annual results of each department compared with the previous year's objectives. It is an occasion to measure the company's development for each year and to create new perspectives and ambitions for the upcoming year. The annual review is also an opportunity to share the employees' preoccupations in a collaborative spirit, trying to find proper solutions for all the problems. Between 2018 and 2019, the company has known a lot of improvements, especially with the customer satisfaction. Some customers were invited to the event to approach them to the company and to listen to their concerns and critics for better customer satisfaction. The presentation is made with reporting software using visuals to make it easy to read and understand by everyone, and to be easier to come with an action plan for the upcoming year with new challenges and objectives. When it comes to innovation, the PMO has come to innovative solutions to resolve the problems that faces the company on a daily basis. It all started with the digitalization of the frame. To do so, the PMO ought to reconsider the human resources management process. With the growth of the company, the number of employees' demands for vacation recruitment have grown in return. The classic human resources management was not able to deal with all this human resources flow change, so the PMO has implemented a human resources management software by hosting an open source platform and adapted it to the company's needs and environment. This software has all the employees' database and the human resources flow. The company has also faced problems with the stock management and waste elimination. With the increase of the number of projects and demands for resources, eventually the company was not able to keep track with all the construction sites' needs and progress, so the PMO has implemented STC Stock, which is a software that helps the company to keep up with all its projects, their progress, resources, and needs, and it also helps with the waste elimination process following the lean management process. One of the major problems that the company has known was the time and attendance tracking. Time and attendance sheets in paper format did not suit the company's working methodology, especially with the number of employees that keeps on growing. It was hard to keep up with every individual's presence and tasks. Therefore, the PMO has set up STC Pointage. STC Pointage is a mobile app that allows the company to stay up to date with employees' activities. A hardware form of tablet was given to every construction site responsible, which includes the app and every necessary information about the project, plans, technical files, templates, and employees' information. STC Pointage also helps with the weekly reports. It was a useful tool to report every week's progress in an easy way. The company's employees have faced problems with analyzing some data, and some of it is even hard to read for the employers because of the lack of visualization, which led to serious problems in reporting and lack of decision-making tools. To improve the reporting process of the company, the PMO started using Power BI, which is a business analytics service by Microsoft. It aims to provide interactive visualizations and business intelligence capabilities with an interface simple enough for end users to create their own reports and dashboards. Power BI allowed the company to have a decision-making tool that helps the company to know how to step in for further projects and how to avoid problems. In this age of technology, it is essential for any company that wants a certain visibility to ensure a strong presence. Our set aims to put an overview of the objectives of the company and to choose the direction of the evolution of the company in the months and years to come, as well as to determine as precisely as possible the types of customers that we wish to target and develop fidelity, identify their needs and expectations, also develop the concept of the PMO in other companies to share a common culture of project management, precisely the project management office by developing a community. The development of the community is not something simple, especially in a context where the concept of project management remains ambiguous in most companies. That's why our PMO has decided to take some actions in order to share the culture of project management and structure our mature companies and improve their functioning in terms of organization, efficiency, and results. At Total Comfort, Our team has decided that the approach to develop a learning environment is to sponsor a community of practices. A community of practice is simply a group of project leaders who share lessons learned and best practices. Best practices emerge from the people who actually do no work by integrating standards and practices into the community of practices. Change management and process adoption becomes easier. PMO and project leaders are part of the solution to improve product delivery within the organization. Also, as an important solution, our team has decided to develop an external subsidiary of Total Comfort specializing in project management services and business support. This subsidiary, called Last Planner, it is composed of several experts who offer training in project management so that companies will be able to understand the language of project management. The trainings are varied according to the needs of the companies. This subsidiary is currently oriented toward construction companies in order to help them to plan and set up project management systems, and also to create a new service of accompaniment in project management, which is quite at the level of our country. Last Planner has also created an online platform specialized in project management courses to facilitate access to information for individuals and companies. Our PMO tried to make a contact database of Algerian professionals such as Mr. Abdallah Lalmi and many others in order to make a feedback and made a community of PMO in Algeria and also develop our PMO. Last Planner always tries to be active in social networks, especially in Facebook and LinkedIn, in order to publish articles and new practices in terms of project management, to increase visibility and to make companies aware of the need to move toward project management. Every project must be delivered to the final customer. Our PMO works actively to follow up on customer requests, based on a collaborative spirit, but knowing all customers' concerns is a difficult task without using the available data correctly. For better customer satisfaction, our PMO has integrated the customers' requests in the daily reports of the project sites along with the administration in order to respond immediately to the needs of our customers. The analysis of customer satisfaction will be based on the customer satisfaction survey and the customer request processing register. According to the data processed, the PMO along with the different collaborators involved decide the actions that needs to be taken in order to find the reasons that have led to the non-satisfaction in order to solve them and strengthen the strong points. In 2019, Total Comfort has increased the customer satisfaction rate by 5% compared to the previous year. The integration of the clients in the annual report presentation of the company has developed a vision of transparency and trust among our clients, especially after the concertization of their requests, which seems to be effective. Our PMO opted for the measurement and evaluation of the degree of the overall performance of our company, in order to ensure a steering that helps the company to achieve continuous improvement. By the management dashboard tool according to the GMC method, the performance of a company is defined by the degree of achievement of the objectives pursued in relation to the strategy set. A successful company is an effective and efficient company. Measurement and evaluation of performance allows you to see whether an activity or operation within this company is performing well or not, in order to be able to determine which corrective and improvement actions to take. Performance management is controlling, capitalizing on results to ensure continuous improvement. Its objective is to guide the designer of a management dashboard during its development. The results before the implementation of the PMO were the social performance index was -2.3 on 3, which means poor performance, and for the planning performance index is 0.08 on 3, which also indicates poor performance. These results are established before the implementation of the PMO in order to see the degree of application and to start a continuous improvement process. After the implementation of the PMO, the social performance index was 2.02 on 3, which means a good social performance. And for the planning performance index was 1.89 on 3, which means also a good planning performance for projects. Concerning strategy indicators, the results were, for the first indicator, the percentage of successful projects before PMO was 65%, which is around 15 on 23 projects, and after the PMO, it's 72.7%, around 8 on 11 projects. For the second indicator, before the implementation of PMO, the results were 22.75% concerning the success rate in digital transformation, and after implementation of the PMO, the results has become 61.8%. When it comes to the indicators of governance, we present the four main indicators in this table. the percentage of the projects who respect their deadlines, percentage of projects who respect their budget, the number of projects managed, and the alignment of the project with the strategy. Starting with the percentage of the projects that respect their deadlines indicators. We see that they were 69.5%, which is about 16 on 23 projects before the PMO, and now it's 82% after the PMO from 2018, which is about 9 on 11 projects. Secondly, the percentage of the projects that respect their budget indicator is 32.75% before the PMO, and it's 67.3% after the PMO since 2018. Also here, the percentage number of the managed projects indicator didn't exist before the PMO, and now it's around 11% after the PMO from 2018. Finally, we have the alignment of projects with the strategy indicator. It was 47.8 before the PMO, which is around 11 on 23 projects, and it's 72.7% after the PMO from 2018, which is around 8 on 11 projects. And for the operational indicators, here we see in this table that the claims number indicator was about 815 before the PMO, and now it's 213 after the PMO from 2018. The customer satisfaction percentage indicator was 65% before the PMO, and it's 83% after the PMO. In general, we see a remarkable difference in the performance of the indicators before the implementation of the PMO and after the implementation of the PMO, which shows the support of the PMO to the company. IT solutions are an essential element of our company's strategy. It allows access to data at any time, anywhere, and sending them on any type of media. PMO has opted for this transition in order to optimize performance and accelerate the digital transformation of the company. Our approach aims to simplify the identification systems with different solutions, easy access to information, and improved presentation of results for optimal use. In order to achieve this transformation, several tools have been used. Collaborative tools. Slack is a collaborative communication platform. It allows our team to discuss and keep track of all exchanges, also allows file sharing within the conversations, and integrates within them external services along with many other options. Trello. Presented as a digital Kanban board, it allows us to create tables to organize all of our tasks, customize workflows for different projects, assign tasks to the project team, and even know the status of the tasks without even being present. This application has helped us a lot on sharing the collaborative spirit. Bitrix24. This platform has provided us with a complete suite of social collaboration, communication, and management tools for our team. MS Project. This is the software we use in our project planning. It allows project managers and planners to plan and control projects, manage resources and budgets, as well as analyze and share the project's data through reports and use them later in tracking dashboards. Gstock and STC Pontage are two applications developed by our IT department following a request from our PMO. Gstock is a software for the efficient management of supply and stock in the building sites. HRSTC is an open source platform that the IT department chose in order to make a digital database that contains all of the information of the employees, which is very useful when it comes to human resources management. Power BI. It is a reporting tool that provides interactive visualizations and business intelligence capabilities. This tool has helped us a lot in presenting data and decision making at the level of our cell. Cloud. The cloud is an online storage used to archive work documents in order to maintain traceability. All of these tools allowed us to pass a new scale based on the collaborative mindset and fast access to information. The management of an organizational structure for the human resources management is one of the main obstacles when it comes to transformation for many large companies. With the evolution of the company and the change resistance to staff, the situation becomes complicated. STC has opted for quality management as a royal road, enabling it to control its costs and improve the quality of the services for better customer satisfaction. To get down to business, the company carried out the first quality diagnosis in 2018. After creating the quality department, this diagnosis made it possible to officially launch the quality assurance process in 2019, which was concretized by the adoption of the quality policy developed by the company's quality department. In addition, STC's management was committed to a process of continuous quality improvement through the total elimination of defects, relying on the mobilization, motivation, and training of its staff. The implementation of these actions led the managers to request an external audit, which was carried out in 2020. The success of this first audit encouraged STC's managers this time to request the ISO 9001 certification audit, which will be scheduled for June 2020. First of all, we need to point out that before STC's involvement in the ISO 9001 certification process, the tasks of the Human Resources Department were as follows. Meet the quantitative and qualitative needs of the company in terms of human resources according to its development and economic situation. Ensure the establishment of good social relations based on the respect of company's interests and the rights and duties of the workers. Provoke the necessary actions for the rationalization of the workforce and the emergence of skills. Define and adopt the system of remuneration and work qualification. Define and implement training plans according to the needs of the company and monitoring the qualification levels of the personnel. Since the arrival of the ISO certification, STC was obliged to review the roles of the Human Resources Department. According to the HRD, the Human Resources Department must define its role according to the needs of the certification. In fact, STC's HRD, in addition to its initial mission defined previously, has implemented a number of actions aimed at achieving the following objectives. Determine the skills required for the employees who have an impact on the quality of work. Provide training or undertake other actions to meet its needs. Evaluate the effectiveness of the actions undertaken. Ensure that its staff members are aware of the relevance and importance of their activities and how they contribute to the achievement of the quality objectives. Keep appropriate records of initial and vocational training, know-how, and experience. Implement and monitor the effectiveness of actions related to the risks, opportunities associated with the activities of the human resources process. Monitor the performance of the human resources process. Employees in the organization and their digital skills are the key to the transformation of the company. For this reason, our PMO has focused on the aspect of skills development and employee training because it is the key to digital transformation. It is essential that our staff acquire the necessary end-to-end skills to serve their customers. Secondly, high-performing and very ambitious employees would like to increase their skills as well as their value, thereby reducing the cost of hiring new employees. Training cycles has been programmed for staff, especially interactive training for project management and software, and distance training in the various platforms, edX, Coursera, Open Classroom, and Udemy, in order to develop autonomy among employees and reduce the cost of employee training, also the training of employees of the construction sites in the professional center. The company has known some serious problems characterized by the generation of waste, uncertain safety conditions, and the high variability of its construction process. The PMO has to adopt the lean construction methodology, which comes as a result that aims to create sustainable customer value by eliminating waste through all company processes and approach the site in a different way by eliminating all waste from the storage of materials to the acceptance of the structure. A light and collaborative method that leads all the actors of the company to ask the same question: how to work more effectively, individually and together. In this perspective, the PMO has elaborated an evaluation at the level of the company in order to evaluate the application of different principles of lean management according to the rapid lean construction quality rating model. The purpose of this evaluation was to use the rapid assessment model of lean construction quality to evaluate the application of lean construction principles. Reduce waste, reduce variability, increase process transparency, simplify by reducing the number of steps and parts and interdependencies, increase the value of the product service by means of a systematic consideration of customer requirements, material flow and pool production, organization, planning and information flow, continuous improvement. For each category, 5 evaluation points were chosen, with varying levels of assessments from 0 to 3. For each level, a percentage value range from 0 to 100% has been settled. Level 0, the principle is not present and there are no known tools to implement it. Level 1, the principle is not present, but tools for implementing it are known and the manager is interested in implementing it. Level 2, the principle is fully and effectively implemented. Level 3, the principle is fully present, effectively implemented, bringing improvements. The results get presented and ranked according to the table which shows the percentages of classification of the company in terms of the application of lean construction in its projects. It was possible to evaluate the 8 principles related to lean construction proposed by the PMO, and the results has shown that the company ranked in level D. Its biggest deficiency is waste and reduced variability and an average rate for the application of the other principles. The main suggestion for improvement would be to adopt strategies in the short, medium and long term, continuous training for the staff of the company so that it becomes aware of the current waste to ensure better results. The development of KPIs in accordance with the principles of lean management to measure the evolution of the company towards lean management and a maximum of waste reduction on site. The short, medium and long-term planning lies in the anticipation of the activities to be carried out and for the site staff. This task is facilitated because of their experiences. Our next challenges are adopting the methodology of lean construction in our construction sites, increasing our customer satisfaction rate, developing the PMO unit, enhancing employee training, increasing project success rate by adopting a new hybrid approach to projects, sharing the mindset of project management in Algerian companies, working on the last planner subsidiary in order to create a network of professionals in project management.